All right, we should be live, hopefully. Yeah, buddy, we are live. So there's that. Let me fix my title real quick because it's a little fucked up, but it's been a minute. What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's doing well tonight. Let's see here. Chat over here. Okay. Doing some things on the fly. So Monday Night Raw. Watching it behind me. If you guys don't know, I have a old TV behind me. One of somebody in my house upgraded, so I got my birthday gift back from a few years ago. So we're gonna talk about this Monday Night Raw because to me, I felt, in my opinion, that this Monday Night Raw was all over the place, right? I just feel this Monday Night Raw was a little over. It was all over the place. Let's just put it. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. I'm gonna fix my screen real quick here. Yeah, we'll just put this up a little bit more. There we go. So Monday Night Raw was a little over the place. It was a little chaotic for 2 hours. I think for 2 hours. Um, I thought it was a little chaotic. It was a little over the place for 2 hours. Raw needs to go back to 3 hours, to be honest with you. At this point, I'm kind of there. 3 hours. I think Raw should go back to 3 hours for sure. It shows. It really, really shows. Okay, so let's put there we go. Okay. All right. We'll turn the low light off because I don't need the low light on. And then we can turn the brightness up just ever so slight. We'll be fine there. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, fixing cameras and stuff. Fixing cameras and stuff. Yo, what's up, Dream? Hope you're doing well, homie. What's up, everybody? Live for the first time in a long time. I know we've been doing uploads here on this channel for reviews. I know that's not ideal as you guys want it to be, but that's how ideal my life's been. So, welcome in, everybody. If you guys didn't know, Raw was decent tonight. I'm gonna be honest. I am not. The problem is New Day turned heel. I'm not problem is New Day. Are you saying there's a problem? New Day turning heel? About time. I honestly will tell you tonight, and I'll be real honest with you. The New Day should have turned heel a long time ago. That's a fail on Triple H booking. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, at first, I thought Xavier Woods was gonna turn around and turn on Kofi before Big E even came out, and Big E's gonna save Kofi, and then we're gonna have Big E as a manager, right? I expected that, and then having Xavier Woods be heel, which is best for business, but turning them both heel, I don't know about it. I thought Kofi was really going nowhere, and I think they should have just done what I thought they should have done. Dominic Mysterio got chanted tonight. That's the new one. Hey, Dominic Mysterio's good shit. They're pushing Dominic Mysterio right. I see him breaking away eventually from the New Day. Not the New Day, I should say. The Judgment Day. Dominic Mysterio for the win. I like him a lot. I think he's coming in on his own. I think he could be World Heavyweight Champion eventually if they do it right, they book him right, and treat him right. The way they're booking Gunther right now is not good at all. I think Gunther has been booked weak. I thought Survivor Series, personally, Gunther looked piss poor. They did not need Finn Balor to come out to put Gunther over or start a feud with Damian Priest. We've been there, done that. I did not, in certain aspects, I did not like that match, but I did give that match one of the 3 matches of the night for me. What saved Survivor Series, I should say. What saved it for me was Gunther and Priest and the men's match, and I honestly said that triple threat saved it. Anything outside of that Survivor Series was garbage. That women's match, if you watched the chair shots, you watched how that match was designed, it was completely trash. I could honestly, that match honestly should have never existed. I would have been cool if they scrapped that whole segment of that pay-per-view. It was a waste of my time. And Naomi not doing proper chair shots is redonkulous to me. You're in a War Games match and you're doing love tap chair shots in the back. It doesn't make it look good when you're doing love taps and going along with the motions. There was a significant problem with that match. And then there's articles coming out that WWE was just going along with the program and getting ready for their 3 big shows. All shows should be important, not just you pick and choose. And I didn't like that. Survivor Series is a big pay-per-view to me, always has been. And I think they should have had a sense of urgency with that. And they should have built feuds behind that to me. I get why they were holding off different title stuff. Do you think Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk and Reigns versus CM Punk and Reigns? Are you talking tag team or are you talking separate matches, Logan? No, I see going forward, I see CM Punk and Rollins. They're going to have a blood feud for a while. This has been brouhahaing. This has been going on since last year, so this makes sense. I see right now McIntyre and Sami Zayn for a while. I think that's what they're going with. That'll lead into Elimination Chamber, I think, for the title. No Rock at Survivor Series. Just I don't know. I was a little dumbfounded by WWE on Saturday. I was left a little speechless when I was watching on TV. I was kind of just like, what is WWE thinking? No Rock, no further storylines. And I actually said, if you're going to have Shinsuke win that title, then WWE fans need to look themselves in the mirror because you're the same very people that told me that AEW can't do that. But meanwhile, you've already done it twice. You did it with the Motor Machine Guns, and now you've done it with Shinsuke. You did not build up Shinsuke for that title. And what's going to happen is Shinsuke is going to look weak holding that belt for a while and then lose just randomly. He's just going to lose. And it's just, who does that benefit? It doesn't benefit us as fans. Tonight, I really enjoyed Dakota Kai getting a win. I am been a big fan of the mid-card stuff as far as women's go. I think Chelsea Green and Michin are going to meet each other in the finals, and I think you're going to see Dakota Kai somewhere. This is good stuff from WWE. The mid-card stuff is really, really good. You know, I really do see Kyrie. I could see on the Intercontinental side. So I think, you know, the mid-card shaping up pretty nice for the women's side. As far as the main card stuff, I'm dumbfounded on a lot of things. I told you guys on Monday Night Raw, Dakota Kai should win and damage. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I would have Dakota Kai win and have them all have gold. Because you're gonna need those tag team belts to be special. Or you bring Asuka back. Asuka's coming off an injury somewhere. So you could bring Asuka back, and you could have her and Kairi Sane. And then what you could have is you could have Io win the title off of Liv Morgan, which is a win-win situation. So then you have all of Damage Control having belts. Everybody looks like faces, and the faction looks strong as all hell. That's what I would honestly do it, because Asuka's on her way back. Shinsuke, I don't know what they were thinking with that. Shinsuke wasn't built. He had 2 matches, and he automatically gets rewarded with a belt. To me, like, I didn't like that at all. And that's the same thing they're doing with Finn Balor, and I don't like that either. Don't get me started with the whole Finn Balor stuff. Finn Balor can go eat a lot of caca for all I care. That man has done nothing, and he's getting pushed for a title on Saturday night's main event. Are you joking me? That should be Damian Priest Part 3. That needs to be something else to me. I already see Damian Priest already interfering in that match at some way, somehow. And we have a triple threat somewhere at like an elimination chamber or something. And to me, that's still hokey pokey to me. Like, Saturday night's main event, if you guys don't remember, when I was a kid, into the 90s and into the late 80s into the 90s, because they did it a couple of times during the 90s, which they don't talk about. Saturday night's main event was a TV pay-per-view, basically, where titles changed and everything looked special, right? Kind of like what AEW tries to do with Battle of the Belts. Yeah, I could see that too. I could. But to me, it's, again, I complained about, and I know you guys are going to tell me, well, you're just complaining to complain. No, I complain because everybody that I know of in the IWC, YWC, and some in my community complain when AEW does the flip hot potato title shit and no build, no nothing, right? But here's the thing. If you're going to do all that noise towards that company and say all this shit about them, right? And you got to do the same thing for WWE. You got to hold WWE the same. You cannot sit here and hold back and say, well, it's okay when WWE does it. I'm not okay when they do that. I can't stand that because it makes the title not rememberable. And who it hurts is LA Knight. LA Knight is not been on Triple H's radar. If you read the articles, he has not been a Triple H guy. LA Knight's going to get buried. LA Knight's going down the card. So I got to turn on my fan. I'm getting hot in here. But no, not like the song from Nelly. But yeah, LA Knight was legitimately pissed off after the fact. Supposedly in articles that him and Triple H had choice words between each other. So you already know LA Knight's not happy. Like, you could tell right off the rip, LA Knight was not happy. And if that's kayfabe, then so be it. Even CM Punk went off script on a Sunday. But Finn Balor, I don't get it. I really don't. Finn Balor. And then, like, Finn Balor's making that tag team titles of Raw look like a joke. It's like he was turning around going, I don't remember. Am I champion? Am I not champion? Like, I didn't get that. I did not understand that at all, personally, but that's just me. The New Day stuff, I'm cool with that. I was cool. I was expecting Xavier Woods to beat up Kofi, put him through a table, and then turn around and Big E shows up and goes, "What are you doing, man?" And then does something to Big E. You know what I mean? And then Kofi, then Big E goes over and gives attention to Kofi, and then we have the Kofi versus Xavier Woods feud, right? You would think that would be a thing they would do, but no, they went the way of what I didn't expect. They were going to make the New Day heels. So are they going to turn them into a different name? Is that what we're doing all together? We're just going to change the New Day into a different name, which I'm fine with. But they need to start winning. If you're going to have them look strong like this, then you have to have them go through your division, the tag team division. You have to make them heels. You have to make them do stupid stuff to get victories. Now, if you're pulling the trigger. Now, all I want from We Love the New Day to screw them guys for making it a personal with Big E. We love the New Day to screw them guys for making it personal with Big E. I'm cool with them making it like I'm on the different. I'm on the different side of it. I love it. I love it. Big E's not coming back ever. Good luck if he does. I'm glad. I am personally glad the New Day turned heel. I'm glad that they did it. I was sitting here in this very chair, TV behind me. I was cheering. I was clapping. I'm like, yes, yes. Give me more of that. And personally, I wish Xavier Woods would have just turned heel altogether. I've been promoting this for 6 months. This happening. This day, very day happening, and I'm happy the New Day's dead. I'm glad. I hope they come up with a new name. I hope they do something badass. I could see them as tag team champions again. And Xavier Woods needs something right now. Xavier Woods needs to be ultimately heel. Or maybe this is a facade, and maybe this is Kofi Kingston doing a facade thing. Who knows? Again, tonight, I was really happy with Dakota Kai winning. I think that's your best option. I think you give Damage Control the tag team belts. I'm with Dream on that one. You give the Damage Control the belts. Io win the World Heavyweight. You bring back Asuka. You have her and Kairi Sane rekindle the Kabuki Warriors or whatever, and you have them win the belts. It's just depressing what's happening with Jade Cargill. That's just that's unfortunate with the injuries, you know, with her being injured and she's possibly going to be out 4 months. That's just unfortunate. And that's not personal issues. She had a real injury, and that's just unfortunate in itself. CM Punk, where do we go with this? CM Punk and Rollins, I expected it because they were going to do it last year. They never pulled the trigger there. And then they paradigm shift. They paradigm shift for The Rock. And once CM Punk got hurt, so they paradigm shift, which I'm okay with that. They're pulling the right trigger with this. I'm happy with it. I see Punk coming out on top on this feud because Rollins is going to turn heel. And it's good. I'm happy Seth Rollins is turning heel. He's going to turn into the insane architect. Thank God. Holy shit. Thank God. Holy crap. Thank God. I know some of you don't agree with my opinion, but I've been kind of out of the, I've been doing uploads, and I've been watching highlights more than I've been watching the actual shows because I've been so busy. And I have a different perspective. Like, for instance, my perspective is I feel every week so far watching wrestling, and I've said this every week, I feel both shows have been down. I feel AEW and WWE have been stale and repetitive. I feel that way. Outside of Jon Moxley kind of saving AEW, it hasn't been good either. And Raw has not been good in 3 weeks to me. I end up turning off Raw to watch Monday Night Football like I used to do during the Vince McMahon era. That's how bad to me it's gotten. Yeah, I'm cool with that. I agree with that. I agree with that, Dream. 100% I do. I think it would be great. Anything else than this whole Seth Rollins dancing, whoa guy. Anything else? I'm cool with him coming with the burning throne. I'm okay with him going psychopath. Anything else? I don't need him wearing fur coats and leather pants, coming out and dancing and doing the with the glasses and the weird shoes. Come out and do something different. And tonight we got different Seth Rollins. A sense of urgency. And I agree with Stevie Richards. A lot of you are going to tell me, who the hell is Stevie? Stevie Richards is a legend, an ECW legend. I agree with him. When he talks about Seth Rollins, I agree with it because that's the same way I feel. Seth Rollins is not a believable character as he once was. He just goes along with the motions, like he wants to not be there. And I think now with this, I think with Punk, this is Drew McIntyre 2.0. Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn, I'm cool with that feud too. It's different, and I'm cool with it. Now, it's not going to be over a title. This may lead into Elimination Chamber, maybe Rumble. Who knows? I still have CM Punk winning the Rumble, though. I still have CM Punk winning the Rumble. And I have a funny feeling, and this is just me, and I'm already going to make my predictions. I don't think we see The Rock. I'm really starting to believe we're not going to see The Rock this year. I think The Rock's got too many with Milana going on, with other movie roles he's doing. I don't think we see him this year at WrestleMania. Maybe we see him in some type of capacity, maybe doing something with the Bloodline stuff, but I just don't see him. I have right now currently, and this is just me, how I see things. I see Randy and Gunther for the title. And I see CM Punk, get this, with Paul Heyman against Cody Rhodes. And I have CM Punk going over against Cody Rhodes. I do. I think Cody Rhodes' time with the title is coming to an end. And I just feel that way. Yes, I agree with that. I was about to say that Raquel Rodriguez experiment has been garbage. Absolutely garbage. Raquel Rodriguez is not a believable character to me. I tried to tell you guys this. They were going to stick her in the Judgment Day and put her back to what she was. She's floundering. She was winning titles. Now she's floundering. She was once up in the Raw Women's division winning titles, and now she's floundering in a faction. Kind of like Selena Vega. Like Selena Vega, I feel the same. It's like she's just there to be there as a face, and that is a bodyguard or sympathy. That's it. I like Raquel Rodriguez. I think Raquel Rodriguez being a heel is great for business. I love it. But she does not need to be part of that Judgment Day. But I understand why they were doing it last time. I get it. But the Judgment Day is just becoming a group of like, I'm just like, why every week? They have done nothing. The Judgment Day has done nothing to me. They are piping trash. I know they call themselves street trash, but they are just flaming piping trash. I just feel like the Judgment Day, I feel like it's coming. I feel like the breakup is coming. And I feel Dominic's going to break out on his own as a face. I think he will turn on Finn Balor eventually. I really feel that way. Dominic I think, is going to be your top baby face when they want to pull that trigger. And I could see him as champion. Not today, though. You could see it with Gunther match that I don't think he's ready for the moment, but I think in the future, I think Dominic Mysterio will be a really good talent. Just not today. But I think eventually when they build him up right and give him the right story and the crowd's eating it up. The cool part about Dominic Mysterio, what I like about him a lot, and I even said this when he was a babyface, when he was tagging with his dad during the pandemic. I said this then, and I will say this now. He has charisma. He has the look. I don't know what the magic with him is, but there is some magic behind him, and I like it. And I've always liked Dominic. I've said Dominic was your second top heel next to Logan Paul when they have Logan Paul on the roster doing Logan Paul things. And I'm not a big fan of Logan Paul. I agree with that. I think that would be cool for Dominic. I think Dominic's going to have a title run eventually. It's just how they're going to book him, and how I want it to be memorable when he wins it for the first time. And I think he would cry. I think he would go in the crowd and pull like an Eddie Guerrero, or like his dad when he won his first WWE title. Or I think it was the second. I think it was the third one when he won the World Heavyweight title. And no, it was the storyline that nobody believed a short person can win. And I think he beat Edge for it on a Raw, or one of them. Rey Mysterio did. And then he went right into the crowd. I could see them doing the same thing with Dominic Mysterio. I could see that. Hands down. 100% I could see that. But this Monday Night Raw wasn't trash. I'll honestly tell you guys, it wasn't something that I turned off to go watch highlights. I was kind of entertained. I felt it was entertained. And what happened to Chad Gable? We don't talk about Chad Gable. I feel sorry for Chad Gable. I feel Chad Gable got lied to. I feel Chad Gable got lied to as much as people that believed in NZXT, the computer company, and got ripped off. I feel like Triple H scammed the shit out of Chad Gable, because Chad Gable's glorified a performance enhancement talent. Sorry, not sorry for that. He is a jobber. And his people are a jobber. American Made looks like a joke. I'm sorry. Chad Gable looks like a joke. A walking joke. And here's another thing. Can we get a new name on the Alpha Academy? Like, can we just have Tozawa just go away and have Otis be built as a machine? Otis has the potential to being a machine, but I watched on Survivor Series, they got this guy doing stupid commercials. I'm like, they're clouding this man. This is a crime. This man should be a heel like Bronson Reed and going and breaking things and beating people up and winning titles. This man is so young. I don't understand why they're not building him up in like NXT, or having Maxine Dupree being a sexy manager, kind of like for kind of how Rusev and Lana was. I was kind of saying, like, if they wanted to, they can do Maxine Dupree as a manager, and they could do Otis as the big brute, and they can have Otis just come in and just smash and repeat and win title. And I'd be okay with that, because Otis is good shit. I saw a glimpse of hope during the Vince McMahon era with him. I thought they were really going to push him, and they ended up squandering that. It's kind of like how I feel about Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton during Survivor Series looked, I sat back and I went, oh God. I went, oh God. No, no. They have her staring again. Why, Triple H? Why? Why? We had I went, why are we doing this? Why? I just went, for once, can we just do the right thing? You have her sitting there. You have Nia Jax down. Have her pin her. 1, 2, 3. Hold the champion. Have her hold it until WrestleMania. Have her lose. That's okay. I just want to see Tiffany Stratton have a title and not look so stupid. I was shaking my head in disbelief. I do the same things. Okay, I did the same thing with LA Knight. I just went, LA Knight, I feel so sorry for you. Your WWE run is over. You might as well start kissing your contract goodbye, because I could see you being released next minute, because Triple H don't feel about you. Yeah, I kind of see that happening. I see Tiffany Stratton literally cashing in and failing. And that's disappointing. And I think it'll be Baron Corbin bad. I really do think it's going to be Baron Corbin bad. Sorry, you guys hear my room. My dogs. Apologize. Anyway, anywho. Tiffany Stratton. Yeah. Or since now they have mid-card titles, Tiffany Stratton could go after the U.S. belt instead of the heavyweight titles. Because remember, we got Charlotte Flair coming back. They said after Survivor Series, she's coming back. And we all know about the Charlotte Flair vortex, don't we, guys? Ladies and gentlemen, remember the Charlotte Flair vortex? Yeah, that's coming soon near you. Watch Charlotte Flair come in and beat Nia Jax and become champion. Watch. Night hour 1, she comes in. She's going to have a challenge and win that belt. And I'm waiting for all the people going, that's just okay. That's all right. Can't wait. I can't wait. I just can't wait. Naomi, I got a lot of choice opinions about Naomi, and I kind of said it in my my Survivor Series video. If you guys didn't watch that, I kind of said, why is Naomi okay? I didn't mean to be so critical of the women's match, and I know I'm going to get disliked for this, and I know I'm going to get hate for how I feel. I felt that women's match was so bad. It's not to the levels of dumpster fire, but it's trash can levels bad. Really, who saved that for me was literally Rhea Ripley, and I would say the 3 people that saved that match for me to an extent: Rhea Ripley, I would honestly tell you Liv Morgan, and I would tell you Io Sky. Those are your MVPs of that match. Outside of that, it was all over the place. It was botch central. Chair shots weren't believable. At times, I turned on the USC match. At times, I was watching football. I would go on my smart TV, my 4K OLED, and I would go and change to Peacock to go watch the Big Ten matches or the Paramount. I was changing games because I was watching the Lakers more than I was watching, the Clippers more than I was like caring about that match, because it was like, I felt my intelligence was being assaulted. First and foremost, why is Naomi going do with the chair and then going tap, tap, tap? Oh, you go down, tap, tap, tap. You go down, tap, tap. It's not entertaining to me. If you want me to feel a War Games match, hit the motherfucker. Why are we protecting? This is one thing I will give AEW the credit on, is when they hit a chair shot, they hit a chair shot. And yes, I know concussions, and I get it, and I understand it. And we saw that with Trevor Lawrence over the weekend with football. But my point is, You could have done a little bit harder than that. You could have put some more gusto. You could have rubbed some spit on it and hit her at least in the back a little harder to make it believable. And I just didn't feel Bayley was believable. I did not feel Bayley was believable. I felt Bianca Belair, I felt they could have scrapped the women's match altogether, and I would have been okay with that. And they could have made that pay-per-view an hour less. Now there's articles coming out. WWE said this was going to be a week pay-per-view. They knew this was, booking-wise. That tells me that I feel, honestly, what's the point? You know what I mean? My favorite pay-per-views is Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, WrestleMania, and I don't know. I just feel like if you in Survivor Series, those are my favorite pay-per-views. And like, I'm sorry, but if you're going to have a War Games match in a cage, right, and you're going to make it all this in a bag of chips, please make it believable. I'm sorry, just make it believable. I don't need Naomi going and doing little mini chair tap shots, little love taps with a chair. I'm sorry, I don't need to see her doing love taps with a chair. Actually hit the person. The other thing too that I will say about Monday Night Raw that I really kind of enjoyed. I enjoyed Punk's entrance. I like how they did the camera. I enjoyed that. Hold on. I had to tell my dogs to lay down. Jesus, I am so sorry. When I go to do like live streams or recording, my dogs want to go off like crazy because my Ring camera, they go off when my Ring camera goes like crazy. Like when my Echo goes crazy, they go crazy. It's wild. Anyway, beside the point. I'm just gonna tell you guys. Where was I? Punk tonight. I like the way they presented him. I do like, and here's my opinion. I don't mind Punk going off script. Like everybody's making it a big deal. Oh, this is AEW bad. No, he asked for donuts. My God. Like, he asked for donuts and he played a little bit. They deviated. So what? That was probably in the cards when WWE, Triple H. Come on. Give the man credit. He's been on good behavior. He's allowed to have a bone every once in a while. Come on, guys. Are we that petty? Raw was fine, but enjoyable at times. Plus, I wish the company... Yeah, I feel you. I definitely feel that dream. I do, for sure. I do wish that, and it's not just WWE. Let me be honest with you. I've told you guys both WWE and AEW have kind of been bearable to watch. Okay, they've been bearable. Okay, I will tell you guys both shows, both companies. Same with TNA. TNA's been a little bit hit and miss too. So it's all companies. And again, what's going to hurt TNA is about to go through a path of they're going downhill. I'm going to tell you guys. Jordan Grace leaves, Joe Henry leaves. That company, I don't know if they can recover. I think they're going to go back to Impact of old. I think that's how their company's going to go. Matt Riddle, they brought him in and they're not really going to work with him. They kind of need him. Honestly, they need to bring Matt Riddle in. I know Matt Riddle had some controversy with New Japan, but I think that was more on New Japan's end than his end. So we'll see. But all companies are down. Like I've been watching all products, and I'll be honest with you, I just feel like a lot of companies are just going with eat, sleep, breathe, repeat, rinse. And now supposedly WWE may be going to tapings. They may tape certain Raws they may when they're on the Netflix, and I'm like, why? Like, again, I just don't get that personally. Zayn cuts in a powerful promo. I loved every second of that promo. The beginning 30 minutes of the show was fantastic. That's how WWE should be doing it. They need to go back to where their bread and butter was, when they cut really good promos, give you really good matches, and they keep the ebb and flow going. The thing about, and this is the thing I like about AEW, AEW does somewhat promo, right into match, somewhat promo, right into match. And now with them going to smaller arenas, I'm happy about it. I told you guys, I think AEW does better with smaller arenas. You watch them have success with that. I think they will. I've said this. I have said this about Tony Khan. I've made this suggestion throughout my streams. I've said this for 6 months now. AEW needs to implement settings. They got to do that right now because it's best for business. An action movie that makes, I could see that. Feels like predictable Hallmark. Wow, you're going that hardcore. Yikes. So the kiss at the end. Trust me, I've been watching a lot of, trust me, somebody in this house watches a lot of Hallmark. They're burnt out on the Hallmark movies. If I have to pass by as I'm cleaning something or coming back from somewhere because I've been so busy with my health and stuff, if I have to see another Hallmark ending, man, I'm going to puke. I'm just saying. I'm going to say, look, I honestly, out of all the shows, I kind of been enjoying kind of the ups and downs of NXT, to be honest with you. If you guys want to hear my like NXT every week, I kind of enjoy it. Weird of me to say. I like NXT, and I've been kind of, and when I catch it, I've been kind of watching MLW a little bit on BQ or something, BenQ Sports or something like that, or one of the channels. I know on DirecTV Stream now, we get the Impact Wrestling channel, the 24-hour streaming channel now, so I'm kind of excited about that. It's now just not on Pluto TV anymore, and our Pluto, or Philo or something like that, free service. But I've been enjoying the 24-hour TNA channel. I get to watch a lot of the old Impact stuff. It's pretty nice. Yes, I know. I'm probably one of the few that sat back and watched the Eric Bischoff era and the Hulk Hogan era, but I kind of enjoyed it, to be honest with you, because it was chaotic and it was different. And some of the Dixie Carter stuff was kind of stupid and wild. And going back and seeing LA Knight or Eli Drake doing the dummy, kind of cool shit with Tyrus back in the day with EC3. Know that? But anyway, I get where people are coming from with AEW, but I feel if I'm throughout the week, if I'm watching, I care more about AEW than I do WWE at this moment, a little bit more. That's just me because I like the Death Rider stuff. I'm a sucker. I'm a Jon Moxley sucker. I will admit it. I am. And I'm really enjoying Roxanne Perez. I'm really enjoying the whole Ava thing with the whole stuff. I'm a sucker. I watch soap operas, okay? Okay, I watch General Hospital, okay? I'm still a General Hospital fan. I watch General Hospital. I watched Little Young and the Restless. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna deny. I do. I do sit back and I enjoy plane crashes and dumpster fires. And sometimes with AEW, I kind of like the dumpster fires. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes with TNA, with Impact, I do. I had a chance to watch some MLW. I may be watching more MLW. I like kind of what MLW is doing. I kind of like GCW a little bit. I saw their pay-per-views recently. So, now, all right. So, WWE this week for Raw, I'm going to give it to you guys like this. I thought it was a solid 6.2 out of 10. And I thought it was literally I would say 2.75 out of 5. Or something like that. Or 2 stars out of 5. This week's episode, I would tell you, is probably, I would say a 67% for me for going by what Wrestle Talk does. I thought it was okay, but it wasn't the best show I've ever seen in the world. And it was everywhere. No Bronson Reed. We didn't see no Bronson Reed here, but I heard he got hurt. I heard Jimmy got hurt severely bad with a broken toe. I heard some people out of the men's match got hurt over the weekend, so We'll see how that goes. And we got Jacob Batu having a kayfabe knee injury again. So, the Wyatt the 6, I thought that was good. I thought they're playing off. What's my thoughts on the WWE ID Perspective program? I think I've talked about this before. I'll talk about it again. I think it's a monopoly in the wrestling business. I think it's just a way for WWE to hold wrestlers hostage to be part of their company, and I think it hurts a lot of other companies. Personally, I don't think it benefits anything but WWE. They do that with the NRL program or whatever it is. I don't think it benefits people. I think it hurts wrestling personally. I think WWE thinks they're the NFL, and I think they could just go out and throw money around in programs and sign wrestlers. Again, I think this hurts AEW. I think it hurts TNA Impact. I think it hurts Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. I think it hurts the wrestling industry when they do this stuff, but I'm not surprised by it because Triple H, I think Triple H wanted to have territories again, and I think this is his way of doing that and getting wrestlers to come to NXT and guarantee money right off the rip to help them get there. I met the talent they so far. Kylie Ray, honestly, I wasn't surprised they went after her. She's been on WWE's radar for a while. Fatu, Zayla Fatu, I'm not surprised with that one because he's NXT bound anyway. A lot of the talent they went after, I'm not surprised. But I think WWE's trying to corner the market. And I think they think they're just the number one company in the world. They have no competition, so they can do fuck all. And pardon my language. And I just think that's the way they're going. I just, UFC's done that. I think Artie Emanuel, he's very a smart individual. I think he wants to corner the market. I think that's what he's going to do. And I think Triple H is going to do that. Triple H has said he wanted to have territories again. He wants to go in and partner with all these companies, and I just think it's very yeah, I agree. I could see I see that with him. I just think WWE personally, and this is just me. I think with this program, I think WWE thinks who the hell they are. And I kind of shit on the program. I really did. When they announced it, I kind of said in streams, I'm like, I don't like this. This is WWE trying to corner the market. But I'm not surprised if Triple H, this is the way Triple H is going to get back at a lot of other people for what happened with NXT. I think he couldn't do the territory thing. I think that's out of the cards at this point. He wanted to do NXT Europe. He wants to do NXT Japan. He wants to do NXT Brazil. I think this is his way of doing it without doing it and bringing in people kind of like going like it's kind of like the MLB for the minor leagues or the minor league baseball. And I think it's for the G League for I think if I'm going to say this in a good way. I'm going to say this in a very positive way. This is WWE doing their own version of the G League, technically, where they have prospects they're looking at, and they could it could possibly go well for WWE. It's their version of the G League. I would say it that way. It's they have eyes on talent that they see the future in, but they're not 100%. So I could see where the ID program could work. But I think it hurts other wrestling organizations long term. That's just me. I'm looking at it as a business person, as a wrestling fan. I just think it would hurt other companies more than do benefit. Now, if WWE, if the ID program thing, and let's say maybe they want to go sign with AEW or TNA, and WWE's cool with that, and they let the contract go and they build them up, then okay. If they want to go to the competition, they get offered money. But if this is a signed guarantee contract, kind of like how they do with the MLB draft or the NFL draft or things like that, then that's a problem to me. But I could see it doing some wonders. I kind of take back. I kind of trashed on it at first, but I could kind of see it being WWE's version of the G League. I could see it that way, or how the NFL is now trying to make the UFL kind of their minor leagues to the NFL. So I kind of see that. The Rock says it's not like that, but the NFL's looking at it that way. And the UFL's great. I think the UFL should be around forever in a day. I hope they are. I can't wait for the next season. I'm more of a UFL guy than the NFL guy. I feel the NFL's kind of gotten a little weird with a lot of the rules and stuff, but that's just me. But my Chargers are doing well. They won last night, so and the Rams are winning, so that's all that matters to me. USC, we're not talking about USC. They got their future quarterback now. Their quarterback is now sealed. I feel sorry for Moss though. Miller Moss, I feel sorry for. He was put in a shitty situation. I think Lincoln Riley's done. As far as I'm concerned, he's done. He's done. I think they need to bring in a big shooter, especially being in the pack, the Big Ten. They need to bring in somebody, and I think you know who they can go and recruit if they wanted to. But I know Bill Belichick would probably be signing with the Cowboys because what's his name's already has eyes on bringing in Bill Belichick. But I know I'm gonna say Chip Kelly. I know I'm gonna say this name, and I know a lot of you are gonna boo me. Um, he's on NBC right now. Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett. If they want to bring in somebody that's been very proven, I know Jason Garrett doesn't want to go to the college level, but if he wanted to, I think USC would be perfect. I'm a big fan of Jason Garrett. I know Jason Garrett, he was basically being told what to do by the owner. But I think if he had the right college students, and I think if he did it right, I think he'd be a very good coach in the collegiate level. I really do. Um, if they wanted to go after, don't get me started with Jason Garrett. Well, Jason Garrett, I feel was just a puppet on a string for the Cowboys. I just felt that way. Honestly, if they really want to, if USC wanted to go with somebody that I think would be cool, really an honest opinion, and he was in the UFL, and he was who's the coach for? He was for the Brahmas. He was the coach of the Brahmas. I know it's Wade Phillips. It was somebody else. Who was the coach of the Brahmas? Oh my God, I know his name on the top of my brain. No, I don't need Wade Phillips. Let me Google this because I'm having to Google this. Give me a second, ladies and gentlemen. Who was the okay? Hines Ward. There we go. Hines Ward. I think that would be a perfect juicy pick for USC. I think Hines Ward would be cool too. I think Hines Ward was pretty good with the Brahmas. I think they need a young coach. They need somebody that's firing and gonna inspire, like somebody cool, something sexy. I honestly think the reason I went with Jason Garrett, the reason I went there is because Jason Garrett is pretty much unproven. I thought he got a raw deal being in Dallas, but I think a lot of people don't agree with me with that one. I think he was more of a face, and I think more of what's his name was running the situation, the owner, Jerry Jones. That's why they haven't won. It's because Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is the problem. Dallas Cowboys won't be relevant until he's long and gone, unfortunately. Same way I feel about my Anaheim Angels until fucking Artie Moreno's gone. USC shouldn't stop pulling Notre Dame on their schedule, putting Notre Dame on the schedule. At this point, it's detriment since they keep losing. Well, it's never going to happen because USC and Notre Dame, that whole rivalry is a big deal. They got history. That's why it'll never be. That'll never stop. Same with USC versus UCLA. That will never stop. Those are two rivalries that will never stop. There's money to be made into that too. Unfortunately, I see where you're coming from with that, but at the same time, I see the other side of that with the money betting, the rivalry. There's a rivalry behind that, and there's a trophy. Oh, you're good. My grandpa was a Notre Dame slash Nebraska fan. More Nebraska than the Fighting Irish. So I totally get it. The Fighting Irish has got a great team. I think Oregon, them. I thought Michigan and the fucking Ohio State stupid fight was stupid. And Ohio State choked. Now let's keep it that way. Ohio State just fucking choked. Speaking of. So getting back into talking wrestling stuff tonight, Drew McIntyre being back was great for business. I'm cool with that. WWE needs to put more into their titles. Like, for instance, the tag team titles on Raw need to be more important. I feel the SmackDown titles need to be more important. I feel these mid-card women's belts, they need to vindicate the women's tag team belts personally. Or if they're going to start doing this and treating it like an organization itself, they need to have like a women's show. An all women's show. And you know who can run that? And I think personally, if they want to bring her back to do so, and I know I'm going to sound really bad with this one, and they've been talking about bringing her back, Stephanie McMahon. They could have Stephanie McMahon be a manager or be a creative part of that show if they wanted her to be somewhat. And I know people are going to tell me boo and hiss. She should have no right in any type of shit. But WWE's been trying to find something for her to put her in a role. She wants to be back. If they wanted to, since they have this whole tag team belts and the mid-card titles and the titles, they could make a women's show if they wanted to. WWE has the capital and the money to do so, they could. And I know some of you guys say, well, they don't have enough women's wrestling. Yes, they kind of do. They kind of could do a third show and kind of do an hour-long show. They could pull it off. Well, again, like I said before, WWE wants her back, and TKO is cool with her being back, and the fans were kind of cool with it. Not everybody was. I'm not one of those people that said I was cool with it, but if they wanted to, and they're trying to find things from what I've read in the articles, they could start a women's show and put it somewhere, and I guarantee WWE would make hand over fist money every week if they wanted to do so. I know a lot of you are going to hate me for it. Again, like I said, we're going to find out what happens with the whole Vince McMahon stuff. Like I said before, with the income, I'm not going to go into politics. By the way, guys, I'm not going to be speaking politics on this channel. I learned my lesson. I ain't going there. I can't because of what's going on with Twitch and a lot of other platforms. I need to be very, very careful going forward on how I speak about real world shit. I know a lot of you have been watching my videos and I'm talking about a clown world. I'm not really going into depth about politics. But what happens with Vince McMahon, I can go on days, months, years on the whole idea. But I kind of have a feeling it's going to go the way it's going to go. And I know that's not what people want me to say. But welcome to the clown world we live in. I just have a sinky feeling it's not going to be the results everybody wants or expecting, unfortunately. Yes, people forget this is still going on because you got to remember who's coming into power and you got to remember who's friends. You got to remember. I'm not going to go into politics, but I'm going to give you the gist of it. Because it's pretty much going to be stricken off the record anyway, the way I think it's going to go. And it is what it is. Welcome to the world we live in. Unfortunate. Not everything with the situation is going to go away. Not everything. But I think I think most of it will be settled out of court. I honestly believe. Because you know who's friends with what you know who. And you know why. And you know who's running their educational secretary of Linda McMahon, so you already know what's happening with that. So if you put two and two together and you do all this stuff, you kind of go there. Vince McMahon's friends with whatchamacall, and there you go. There's your win. I just have a sinky feeling that this stuff will be put away. It'll be buried. As far as you know, it doesn't take me knowing all the years being on this earth. I know this is shit. And I want to apologize. That wasn't politics talk, by the way. That's just me being honest with you. Like, from my own perspective. Vince McMahon's friends with the incumbent guy that's coming in. He's hardcore friends with that person. What do you think's going to happen? That's why Janelle Grant right now is doing everything in her power to move along things, to get things moved along. You know why? Minutes his friend gets into power, you don't think Linda McMahon's running she was the secondary person in his campaign. So you got to do, if you do the math and you do everything right and you're a realist like me, you already know what's happening. It's unfortunate. We live in a clown world. Welcome to it. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But I see some settlements coming and him getting escaped. I could see it. It's just how this world works. And I've seen it many times. And unfortunately, I know that's not going to be the outcome people want. And I know that's not going to be what people want to hear. And that's me looking into it at the way I need to look into it. And maybe that's just my opinion, and we'll leave it there with that. I just have this sinking feeling that it's not going to go away the people want it to be. And I'm already prepared for it. I'm already prepared for the disappointment. And that means that this man will get off with pretty much anything he wants, and he'll be able to do what he needs to do. And I know people are not going to like me for that, and I apologize for that. But I have to be a realist. I have to look at it as with my own two eyes, or my 1.5 eyes, because I'm partially blind. But I have to. I'm hoping for Janelle Grant the best, and I want her to win, and I want her to succeed. I just don't see that happening. Yeah, I get you. I totally get that. But I'm hoping something happens good for her out of all this. I do. But because of what's going on in the world of things, the clown world we live in, buckle up, because I see a lot of washing the hands clean of things. It's not politics. This is just how I see things. And I've been asked, what do I think about, you know, with the incumbent coming in and Vince McMahon and Linda now running the Secretary of Education. I just see it the way it's going to go. I could see some calls being made, and I could see him getting away with some shit. And I could see him paying out, and that's just the way it's going to go. I kind of see it that way. But then I could see the other side of it. Who knows? We're going to see in the next couple of months. The investigation part goes down in the next couple of months, so we'll see. Vince McMahon's already preparing. I guess from the last things I read about Vince McMahon, that he was already making. He's going to do a new Monday Night War special or something like that. There's some untold stories that he's going to tell, some secrets and dirty laundry he's going to air out. I guess he's working with a production company. And then he's got another thing going on, and supposedly he's got a couple things. He's got a couple of people that used to work for him, working back with him. So we'll see. We'll see what goes on with that. By the way, I need to make this a quick note in all my streams going forward. No politics talk. I or real like I don't mind the real life stuff, but going forward, I don't have an opinion because of what's going on with Twitch and the ad apocalypse shit. I can't, and I'm not willing to take the risk on my brand to lose something that I've worked hard for. So when it comes to politics, keep that to yourself. If you want to talk to me off air, if you feel passionate about something, then sure, reach out to me. We'll talk off air on like a Discord call or Discord in my Discord or something in the range. But as far as I'm concerned, and this goes to my mods, my regulars, and everybody here, if I have to ask you once, I'm gonna time you out for 5. If I have to ask you again, you're getting perma banned. 1 strike, you're out. I ain't playing. Like I said, I haven't been around in a minute, but I wanted to put that out there to everybody. I need to set an example for my stream. I need to set an example for all of you. A lot of people don't come to hear about real world shit and politics stuff. So we'll keep it to sports, game, and wrestling and music and things like that. So there's that. I think those might be more lawsuits towards WWE they can get away with from. Yeah. Like I said, I'm going to just be honest. It's a clown world we're living in. It's a clown world we're living in. I'm watching things happening that I never thought in all my years of living that I would see in my life. And that's not a politics thing. It's just me being honest. A lot of the things like food prices being sky high. Like, I'll give you guys a story before I go and get into game streaming tonight. I was buying because we had steaks for dinner for Thanksgiving. I was mortified about the price. Okay, so the price of steaks, these big, nice steaks. I bought 4 steaks and they were $64, one video game. I was so just blown away from when 3 years ago until now. I was just blown away how much food's gone up. I was just blown away. And I haven't been to a grocery. Fun fact, I'm such an introvert, I haven't been to a grocery store in a minute. Oh yeah, I had a blessed Thanksgiving. I watched what did I watch? What the hell did I watch? Oh yeah, I watched the college football games. I sat back, watched the college football on a beautiful new 4K TV. Hope you had a blessed Thanksgiving and everything. Hope you did something well. I'm not a turkey person. I think turkey's too dry for my palate. I'm more of a prime rib / steak kind of guy or ham. Turkey has to be made the way it needs to be made. And a lot of times turkey just comes out too dry. I have to savor it with like a soda or something down my throat or water. Because a lot of times it's so dry and the sodium levels are so goddamn high. But yeah, I enjoyed my Thanksgiving. I watched a lot of football. I took in a lot of football. I took in a lot of movies, in fact. I watched a bunch of stuff. Let's see. So let's talk about when I was gone for a quick minute. So to give you guys a little bit of update, you guys are getting more videos. I got some stuff recorded. Rev's Tech Tips, I introduced that to the channel. I introduced that to the channel, so you guys are getting tech tips. We're going to talk about the Fire Stick. We're going to talk about streaming sticks here on this channel eventually. So if you guys are interested in that, we got that going. We got more about NZXT and the corruption that's going on there. AEW, if you guys didn't know, canceled their video game. Well, supposedly. But it's up to Kenny Omega to make that final call. Oh, I got you. Got you. And thanks for his service to the United States of America. Hell yeah. Real quickly. So that's going on this channel. Game streams are coming back. Yeah, I know. I'm going to tell everybody here. I know I've been inconsistent. Trust me. I see people unfollowing. I see people unsubscribing. I know. I was just very sick for a while. If you live at home with family, you guys know how this goes. When one person gets sick, they pass it to you, and then you try to stay away from the other person, then they get it back, and then they pass it back. That's what was happening for the good 3 to 4 weeks with me. I would get well, and then I get sick again. Get well, get sick again, get well, get sick again. Unfortunately, on the second time I got sick, I went to the doctors and got medications and, antibiotics, all the shit. So I'm just letting you guys know, like, that's where I've been. I know the election happened. I know a lot of stuff happened. I got sick. I started getting sick right as the 1st of November happened. Like, I just went down. I sat in this room, like, you guys see this is my old 55-inch TV, but I didn't have that. I had a monitor that I was using as my streaming stick, entertainment. And I was watching a shit ton of movies. I was sitting in my bed. I was dead to the world, man. Like, I was sick. Like, I just did not feel good. And then my mom's got sick, and then she passed it back to me, and then it was just back and forth. But I'm better now. You guys are going to get tomorrow NXT. I don't know if it's going to be live. I'm not going to make that guarantee to you guys. No, it's just the common flu. It's just like if you live at home with family, we were just passing it back and forth. Like, it was just like, I don't wish it on anybody. Like, I was like, damn. I was just grateful to get well. Like, just before Thanksgiving, I was like, man, 3 weeks of this shit. I'm kind of just happy it's over. I'm over it. I was like, geez, I don't want to see another doctor's office. I don't want to see my doctor anymore. I'm like, him going, well, here's more antibiotics. Hope you get well. Keep sleeping. And my capacity was going from the bed to the kitchen. Bed to the kitchen. That was me, going to the bed and going to the kitchen. Grabbing water or being miserable, eating soup, eating ramen. It was just like, ugh. And then when I did feel better, it was kind of like my trash can became my best friend. Okay? Let's put it that way. Tissues and my trash can. And dying. Like, I did some things. Like, I won't tell you guys I didn't do anything. I relapsed. So I traded in some stuff, and then some old tech that I had. Drake, I heard a little bit about it. I really haven't been following it much. As I was telling you prior, I wasn't really following it much because I don't know. UMG's getting sued all over the place. So it's Drake, and then you have Limp Bizkit, and then you have a bunch of other artists. Whatever happens, if Drake is in the right, he deserves to win a bunch of royalties. If he's not in the right, then Drake's gonna lose it in lawyer fees. I'm like ignorant to the subject, so it's kind of like I don't follow that kind of stuff. I follow music that I'm interested in. I like Drake, don't get me wrong. I know Kanye West is working on a new album, I guess. He's going back. He said he wants to go back to what he once was, so we'll see. We'll see how Kanye West does. I hope. I like Kanye West's old music. I don't like any of his new stuff. His new stuff's been garbage. So hopefully bringing back the old Kanye West will be good. He said he found himself. So let's see if that's the case. Because I remember back in the day when I had my iPod, man. Oh. Kanye West was the shit next to Nelly and next to Eminem. Oh. I would take my scooter to school. Oh my goodness. And then I would ride my bike to school sometimes. It was so good. Music just, I don't know, man. I've been telling people for a minute, like, music just has nothing to write home about. It's not like when I was a kid. I just feel music hasn't been the same. And I feel like rappers are just fighting over, popularity now. And it's like, what was it? I recently on Shorts, it was KSI. And I was like, is this really music? What are the kids listening to? Why? Why is this a thing? Like, I like Drake. Drake, I liked his first album. I remember when he was on Degrassi back in the day when I was a kid. But I just think some of these lawsuits, man, are just out there and man, just out in the wild sometimes. Yeah, but that's Drake for you. That's Drake for you. That's a lot of these new rappers nowadays. Like Drake's new era. Like you don't see that from Lil Wayne. You don't see that from Kendrick Lamar. Like I gotta give Kendrick Lamar credit. He's going to be doing the Super Bowl. I'm not a big fan. I wish wrestling would stop going to the rap music because they kind of ruined the Ozzy Osbourne music over the weekend with War Games. But I'm more of an old school rap guy. Like, I will always love my Nellies, my Boondocks and Harmony, Wu-Tang Clan. I will always like my Eminem. I'll like my Outkast, um, Beastie Boys, Boys to Men, LL Cool J, um, Salt and Pepper. I can go on the list of just artist after artist after artist that I just really come to love over the years. New rap stuff, I just Kendrick to a certain extent. I like Kendrick's. Lamar, We Them Boys, I kind of like. Holla Holla, We Them Boys. Um, it's just a lot of this new rap I just can't get down with. I'm not a big fan of MGK. I like Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll is like my number one on my playlist. Like Jelly Roll's inspirational to me. Like I can listen to Jelly Roll as I'm on a walk, and he speaks to me. It's weird like that. Like Jelly Roll speaks to me, and I know that sounds terrible, but of me to say, oh, Jelly Roll, isn't he all about this that? But Jelly Roll speaks to me. Like when I listen to his music, it's like it. I feel what he's speaking. It's weird to say. Um, MJK I don't care for. Machine Gun Kelly I don't really care. I care for his older stuff that he did, his at the very beginning stuff. Linkin Park stuff I don't mind the new stuff. I've been digging their new album. Um, I know Guns N' Roses is gonna make a new album coming soon. They're already working on that. Blink 182's new stuff's not been bad. Um, but yeah, I listen to a lot of classic rock music. If you guys want to know me, I listen to a lot of classic rock or old school rap. Like Jelly Roll is like on the top of my playlist. If you guys do listen to me talk about music, Jelly Roll's on the top of my playlist next to, I would say, Blake Shelton's another one that I will listen to. Darius Ruckers is another one. Um, I'm not a big country person, but Blake Shelton's kind of in between that. Taylor Swift to a certain extent. I'll listen to a couple of tracks here and there. Um, Nicki Minaj, okay. I grew up with Nicki Minaj, so I kind of listen to a little Nicki here and there. Carly B to a certain extent, I do a little bit. I'm not into the new stuff like that. Like you guys like need to know, like I'm just not into the new stuff like that. T Pain I like a little bit because T Pain does a lot of the non copyrighted free music for YouTube and stuff like that. So I respect him a lot, and he was on The Masked Singer. Snoop Dogg I listen to a lot of because when I'm in the shower, old school Snoop Dogg, Dr. Trey, I will listen to. But music I listen to the most: Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, Def Leppard, Motley Crue, Genesis, The Police, Carlos Santana, um, Toto, Dream Theater, Avenged Sevenfold is another one that I really enjoy. Avenged Sevenfold's like the Rev, rest in peace, the Rev. I grew up with them because they're California kids, Orange County kids, and yeah, I've seen them live and a whole bunch of stuff. So, Paramore, I grew up with Paramore. Love me Paramore. Haley Williams for the win. Katy Perry, I've seen her live. I've seen Pink live. Like I said, when it comes to music, I love my music. It's sad to see what's going on with Elton John though, going blind. I never thought in my wildest dreams to see that, and Peter Frampton falling apart, and then Phil Collins falling apart. I want to see live. Would be a joy to go and see. Hopefully get an opportunity to see them live because they're retiring. Or I don't see I don't. They say retirement, but they'll come back together. It's more if Chris Martin wants to do his own thing, or they're pulling an REM. REM was like that. I wish I would have saw REM before they retired. Because REM's great shit. Now I've seen Dave Matthews Band twice. I will put it this way: Dave Matthews, for the 3.5 hours you go and see, it's a great show. Now I've seen Roger Waters. I've seen David Gilmour. Um, I've seen Steve Miller Band. I've seen Train 5 times. I've seen Matchbox 20 before. I've seen Third Eye Blind live. I've seen Sugar Ray live. Um, Now I've seen some underground rap stuff. So if you want to know me, I'm very much in the underground stuff, like Army of the Pharaohs, Vinny Paz, Necro. I'm totally in it, but keep it in mind, I'm a weirdo. So just keep in mind, just like my Blue Skies and just like my ex to a certain extent. Yes, I brought back my ex. Just let you guys know, when I'm a weirdo. So if you see things, shiny stuff mixed in with some other stuff, just be prepared. I want to warn you guys about that because on Blue Skies, when I came to Blue Skies, I said to myself that I'm gonna add a little of my weirdo stuff mixed in with my regular stuff. So if you see latex, you see something of the range, on Blue Skies, there's buttons that you can press to mute that kind of stuff. So that's the cool part I like about Blue Skies a lot. So if you're on Blue Skies, and I think some of you do have the stuff checked for adult content, if you don't want to see it, there's that. And I've warned you guys. Now you've been warned. Everybody in my community has been warned. I'm not making separate accounts for things. I'm not making for spicy stuff. I'm not going to jock 3 accounts. I did that for X. I've done that for Instagram. And when you jock so many accounts, let me be honest, when one gets flagged, they all get flagged and they all get banned. Social media platforms don't give a shit about you. Let me just put it that way to you. They just don't. Trust me, take it from somebody that posts. I don't post any raunchy pictures per se, but I post what people would consider not nudity, but it's more like spicy content. Latex is considered spicy content. So Instagram don't feel that way, and I've been false flagged by Instagram's algorithm before. And Facebook for liking pictures. What the hell's up with that? Facebook. They called me a bot for liking pictures. What the hell? Oh, and then my mom got flagged for liking dog pictures. Who does that shit? What the hell? But anyway, if you guys see things like that, shiny or anything like that, just be careful with that. Um, be very, very aware. I just want to let you guys know that so you guys don't think I'm like crazy or anything like that. Yeah, so what I like about Blue Skies right now in Threads, in Facebook's Threads, and what I like about Blue Skies is you get to pick and see what you want to see, which is great. There's sections like I have on Blue Skies. What I like about my Blue Skies is I have an Xbox section, I have a MLB Plus section, I have an NBA section, I have a latex section. I like the fact that you guys, I can go into my settings on Threads and on Blue Skies, which is cool. And I can go and I could set certain parameters to where you guys don't have to see like the sexy stuff that I'm liking or things like that. So it doesn't have to clog up your stuff, and you don't have to feel like uncomfortable to message me and go, "Hey Rev, I see some of the spicy shit." You know, you don't have to see that. That's the cool part of those platforms. Now, X, on the other hand, the reason I have my X still, Rev Sauce wise, and I know I said I was getting rid of my X, I have sponsors and stuff. It's hard when Blue Skies is just starting, and really the sponsors have not moved over there yet. There's not many sponsors over there. So, like, the stuff that I need, like, I'm in talks with Poggers for energy drink stuff for you guys. Visible's not over there because I am kind of affiliated with them, because that's my phone service. I use Visible by Wireless, by Verizon Wireless. I use them. If you use my affiliate code, you guys get your first month for $5. Totally worth it. If you're looking for phone service, totally worth it. I don't have a link down below, but if you ever wanted a link, I give you a link. It's optional. I'm in talks with energy drink stuff. I'm in talks with a lot of different things. That's mostly on X. Unfortunately, X still has the power in that aspect. So it's hard for me to get rid of something because business wise, it's hard. Because I have a lot of business that I do. And I know a lot of you don't like, I know some of you are like, I can't stand X because of this, the ads and all that. I understand. I feel you. But unfortunately, when I got rid of my X, there's a lot of stuff that's on Blue Skies or Threads that's not there that I need, unfortunately. So I just want to make that clear. I did reactivate my X a little bit ago, about a week ago, because there's things on Blue Skies that I like, but not everybody's moved over to it. I could tell everybody's just starting up accounts. To start up accounts, you know what I mean? I just got to 280 something followers real quickly, but I've noticed that it's all new accounts and it's people just starting out. So it's not like where it's like X. And I've already banned a few fake accounts on Blue Skies because either I'm getting the scam artist stuff already on Blue Skies. So be careful with that. Guys, be very careful on that. If you're on Blue Skies, be very careful with that scamming shit. I've gotten some like South Africa, Laganda stuff. Be careful with that. That's scamming. Where they have a fake picture of like children in the background. Block that stuff. That stuff goes around and they've been following are the fake Mark Cuban stuff. Mark Cuban is officially on Blue Skies. I think he stopped doing X and now he's on Blue Skies officially. But you got to be very, very, very careful on that because there's like 5 different Mark Cuban accounts. You want the one with 21,000 people following. So when it comes to Mark Cuban, and I respect Mark Cuban. I was really shocked. Like, Mark Cuban followed me the other day. I was like, oh my God, Mom, Mark Cuban followed me. Holy shit, yeah. And then to go find out it's a fake account, and I was disappointed. I was like, fuck. Part of my language. I was like, damn, Mark Cuban one day. Mark Cuban will recognize Rev Sauce. Maybe I'll fly in his jet one day. I'm just playing. But no, that's just for you guys to know. I just letting you guys all know tonight. That's where I'm at. Blue Skies is new. I am on Mastodon. I had to make a new account for that. I am on Space Hay. I am on Facebook. If you want to add me personally on Facebook, you guys can. I got to know you, though. Caveat is I got to know you. Randoms off the street, no. If I know you, you're a mod, sure. Feel free to add me on Facebook. All I ask, don't message my mother or message my family. Don't do that. Don't do that. You'll get an immediate block from me. But if you want to add me on Facebook or under my personal name, you can. Just have to ask, and I'll DM you and let you know. All you got to do is ask. Don't like any of my mods, any of my VIPs. You're always welcome to ask. Don't ever feel creepy for asking. I have a few mods that are added on my Facebook that we talk on the regular on Facebook because sometimes I'm not on Discord and Facebook's the best way to get a hold of me if you want to have a conversation. And yeah, I just have conversations. Like I had a conversation in Dream while I was out doing. I was shopping. I was grocery shopping. When I was talking to Dream, I was like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" So sometimes I'm random. When I'm bored, I'll hit up somebody on a random day because I'm just bored. I have nothing better to do when I'm surfing. Like Blue Skies is my first app that I pull up and I do view now. X is just there for sponsor reasons. I'm not there to, really chat. I don't care really much for it. The reason X, it's not because of Elon. I want to make that clear. It's not because of Elon. That's just because there's too many ads. And it's in your face. Constantly shoved in your fucking face. And it's like you can't get rid of them. You ask to not see those, and they just shove it in the face. Haven't been on Facebook in 10 years. Oh, I got you. I'll feel that. I definitely feel that. By the way, guys, you guys see in the background now, I'll get out of the way here. So you guys get to see the new TV. So this is my original 3D TV. If I back off the camera, you guys can see. So there's my big-ass TV. That's my original 3D TV. So if you guys see that in the background, the things have changed behind me. I have a stream stick on it because, that TV's not supported by Sony anymore. It's 12 years old. So that's my TV. That's what I watch wrestling on. When I go to sleep, it's an amazing experience to go to sleep and watch TV. It's nice to have because I forgot how nice it is to have a fucking bigger screen in my room. It's so nice. That part of my language. It's nice to have 55 inches of goodness in 1080p. But when I go out to the front room, it's 55-inch 4K. I don't see the difference. I'm sorry, maybe my eyes are messed up, but outside the colors and the clarity, I was watching Survivor Series. Outside of the clarity a little bit being better, I don't really see the difference. I really kind of don't. Maybe I need to be watching it for a while. Maybe my eyes will adjust. Well, my eyes are already messed up enough, and before somebody goes, "Oh, you despise 4K," it's like I was watching on Peacock, and I know they were pumping HDR, but I was like, I don't really notice it outside the colors being a little bit and it being more clearer. I mean, I've had a 4K TV before. I had an Android 4K TV, Sony TV, when they did the Google TV thing back in the day with the huge remote and it was 4K and it did somewhat. It was before HDR televisions became a thing, HDR10. I know I'm talking technology talk. I know. I know I said I was going to get out of here, but it's always a fun time when you guys bring up other things to me as I'm doing a wrestling review. But yeah. Tonight, if you guys are coming in for the wrestling review, this was seriously I stand by what I said. It was a 6.2 out of 10. This show did not do anything for me to make me. I don't know how to say. WWE is just not building as much as AEW is not building. I just feel both companies have kind of, if you're going by storylines, I just don't feel like these two companies really know where they're going for the rest of this year. I just feel that way. Survivor Series was the middle of the road. Yeah, Survivor Series is very lukewarm. I was more interested in watching college football than I was actually enjoying a pay-per-view, to be honest. I think the 3 matches kind of saved that pay-per-view. Really, outside of that, it really did nothing for me. I could have watched it back later and fast forward through a lot of the crap that didn't need to be there. You know what I mean? And I don't want to be mean. I know some people are going to tell me, Rev, you're really harsh on WWE and AEW. Yeah, I'm going to be. Yes. Triple H and Tony Khan are supposed to be these 2 big, amazing bookers, right? And creative's supposed to be good, right? I don't feel that way. I seriously just don't feel that way. I don't feel like there's anything there on both sides to sink my teeth in. I'm watching GCW's pay-per-views and Turning Point, and that's where I could sink my teeth into. I'm more interested in John Layfield showing up and giving somebody a clothesline from hell than watching a Survivor Series. And I'm not sorry for that comment. That's just me being really freaking honest. And the only thing that gets me really interested in AEW anymore, and this is me being honest, outside the Continental Classic, which they desperately needed, and they need to get the belt off of Okada because it's been terrible, is Jon Moxley or the Hurt Syndicate. That's it. And somewhat Darby Allin. I agree with that. I don't know why we're comparing Vince McMahon to Tony Khan. Again, people need to understand something. Tony Khan ain't no Vince McMahon. And I think that's just disgusting. Vince McMahon's got a lot of scandalous shit that he has done over the years. Tony Khan is just starting out. And we got to remember something too. AEW's been around for 5 years, and I think we need to, as a community, okay, and I'm going to say this open, and even myself to an extent, we need to stop being so critical to an extent. We're never going to get the first 2 years of AEW again. That's just not going to happen. But what we can get is somewhat goodness here and there from AEW. I don't want AEW to be number 1 in the world. I'm not asking I'm asking AEW to be the alternative, but here's why. I'm asking them just to be a wrestling-centric company with somewhat good storylines. That's it. All I want them to be. I don't need them to do 5-star matches. I don't need them to blow me out of the water. I just need them just to do their thing and stay relevant. That's it. I don't need them to be WWE levels. And what makes AEW different is they hit harder, they do more wrestling than they do entertainment. I've said this all along. It's like they do boxing matches more than they do actual stories. And I'm okay with that to an extent. And to be honest with you, I know some of you want storylines. I get that. I respect that. You're not going to get that from AEW. It's just not going to happen. You're going to get it every once in a while. You're just not going to get it all the time. And I've been trying to tell people this for a minute. And like people think I'm just an AEW disciple and all I do is defend AEW. And I said I've been on the record the last couple of weeks, and I know I haven't reviewed AEW, but I've said AEW's been bland. Outside of Jon Moxley and the Hurt Syndicate, right? And Kyle Fletcher, it's not been really good. I'm grateful they put the belt on Daniel Garcia. I'm grateful that they're finally, but then they go backwards. They pushed Darby Allin to have him lose. I don't get that. If you're building this man up to win a championship belt, wouldn't you want to build him to be the strong guy? Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, 100%. They grew for their own good. But it can be good if it consistently and makes I think personally AEW with them going to smaller arenas is the best bet for them. They have to. I think like I've told you guys this in the past. I think when you first came in here and became my mod, I kind of told you like a few months ago that I said AEW needs to back off doing these big arenas. Do the big arenas when they're doing big pay-per-views and they can have the ticket sales, right? But outside of that, what made WCW great, what I liked about WCW back in the day, and ECW to an extent, was the fact that they did these small arenas or these small like theaters. They did the small little baseball stadiums. They don't need to, AEW does not need to do these big freaking arenas and try to be like WWE. They could fill in a Manhattan ballroom, or they could fit in a theater. They could fit in something, and they could do these shows without having to do with big audiences to make it believable. And I've said they could do minor league stadiums. They could do many different things. If AEW wants to be the alternative, that's how they be different. If they want to be the alternative so hard, that's how you do it. Start with the smaller arenas. They should have done that from the get-go. I went, why? And I even said it then back in 2019. I said, start with the smaller arenas first. Do the convention centers. Do like these WrestleCades and do those things. Yeah, I could see where you're coming from with that. But like I said, AEW, I think, with Jon Moxley helping out, I think people need to stop with this real world expectation. And I want to address something real quickly. To all these people sitting and crying over Rey Fenix. You ready for my hot take for this one? I'm sick and tired of hearing about Rey Fenix and Penta. Oh, woo's them. No, they shot their mouth off. Just as much as Ricky Starks has. If it was me or you or anybody else, we would be fired with cause. And I think it's really ridiculous. I think it's really egregious to me how the IWC, they got screwed over. No. Penta and Rey were basically talking about how they had like guaranteed deals over at WWE. And Conan shooting his mouth off. Come on now. You don't think Tony Khan is not looking at that? You don't think he's not watching? The man's got a pulse within social media. Like, come on now. I'm sorry, but Rey Fenix deserves what's coming to him, and same with Penta. Penta's contract's up. If Penta wanted to, he can go to WWE. I just don't see Penta getting pushed to the moon and back. I just don't see him getting any further than he was in AEW. I think AEW was better for Penta to begin with. And that's just me looking into it because I just don't see him being that star figure like he thinks he's going to be. I think he's going to be another Andrade. Or Penta will just be shoved into the LWO and that's just how that'll go. I don't see it. Dragon Lee wasn't a needle pusher. I'm sorry, but Carlito's not a needle pusher, and Andrade hasn't been a needle pusher. And unfortunately, the reason I was so upset over the United States title to begin fucking with, pardon my language, again, I curse a lot, was because you had people sitting there, Andrade. You didn't need Shinsuke winning. You've been pushing Andrade for what, weeks? You have him lose right off the rip. The first match Shinsuke does, you have him lose? Then you have Carmelo Hayes go up for some reason to go against Cody Rhodes and look stupid and lose? Where's your faith? Where's your faith in these guys? You brought Andrade back for all this money to lose. That's the stuff I'm talking about. And I'm sorry, but Andrade was no better in WWE than he was in AEW. I'm sorry to say that. Where has Andrade been? Where's Andrade? Like, he's not going anywhere. It doesn't look like he's going anywhere. And I feel sorry for LA Knight because it's going that way. LA Knight, I just don't see Triple H having any faith in the guy. Watch his sizzle go down real quick. Watch the LA Knight, watch the crowd. Watch him go down the card. And I want to say this too. The motor machine guns that you guys have all told me about, where's the crowd's not eating it up? The crowd's not eating it up. Do you notice they're not getting that pop? The motor machine guns are not getting that pop, and they put the belt on them thinking that they would get this big pop. They're not getting this big pop. They're not over like that. The casual WWE audience doesn't know who fucking the motor machine guns are. And then you got a lot of people in the IWC, YWC that are crying over this. And it's like, again, Triple H did not book them properly to begin with. When you don't do the things and you don't do the vignettes, it's like AEW. It's like AEW. When they don't do vignettes, they don't promote the matches beforehand, you don't do the things, you don't give people a reason to sink their teeth into something, it goes nowhere. And Dragon Lee's going nowhere. Dragon Lee, I just don't get it. You brought this guy in for millions of dollars into NXT, and he has done nothing outside of be a LWO jobber at best. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be mean towards AEW or WWE, and I'm not trying to compare the two. I'm not comparing. I'm just saying this is what the IWC, YWC says. You have YouTube channels out there, okay? You have YouTube channels that are sitting and calling Tony Khan the next coming of Vince McMahon. But what choice did Tony Khan have when your best talents are sitting on Chris Van Fleet and shitting all over your company? You're going to just sit there and take it? Let's put it this way. I made an example the other day on Discord to somebody, and I said, if LeBron James, let's just put it this way, if LeBron James decided to crap on his organization, the Lakers, and say he's going to go to a different team, meanwhile still being under contract, what do you think's happening to LeBron James? He's getting fined, suspended. Guarantee it. Guarantee if Curry turned around and said to the Golden State Warriors, I hate my player arrangement and my deal is such, and upper management's blah, what do you think's happening? This is what I'm not understanding with wrestling fans right now. Every wrestling fan that I see on X or somewhat Blue Skies, all crying that Ray Phoenix got fucked over. And I'm like, no, Ray Phoenix just went on social media. Is basically bowing down now to Tony Khan. Well, maybe you shouldn't have fired your mouth off. Maybe you as a person shouldn't have said, well, the grass is greener over here and I'm going over here while you were under contract. And I think Ricky Starks, we're getting played. I honestly think Ricky Starks, I personally believe Ricky Starks signed an extension with AEW. I personally think it's a work. I think this is all a work. Tony Khan and all these people could say they were ambushed. They didn't understand it. I think we're being worked. It was kind of like Jack Perry. I see literally Ricky Starks back on my television in about a few months. And him beating up somebody and winning some type of a championship. Come on. This screams the same thing as Jack Perry. And I'm sorry, but that's my beliefs. I do not see Ricky Starks in WWE, and if I do, I'll laugh. I'll say I'm wrong. I think Tony Khan offered him a bag full of money, and he could sit all he wants and say, "Oh, I'm sitting at home," and all this stuff. It just smells like Jack Perry to me. It screams Jack Perry all over again. And some people could call me a moron, and some people could say I'm an idiot. But at least I'm not comparing Tony Khan to Vince McMahon. And that's criminal in itself. I would say Tony Khan is more like Paul Heyman in a way. I would say a little bit of a naive Paul Heyman in a lot of ways. Paul Heyman meaned well when he was in ECW, but did a lot of fuck shit and did a lot of stupid stuff. Tony Khan's in the same playing field as a Paul Heyman to an extent. I would say more like somebody that has money with power, but I just think AEW, I think personally smaller arenas to start. I think better creative. I think Monet kind of turned the point at Full Gear. I think people could say that the whole thing is stupid. I think Anna Jay involving herself in it. I think bringing back Julia Hart. I think Kenny Omega coming back. I think seeing Kota Ibushi. I didn't even know Kota Ibushi was under contract. I didn't even know he was under a 3-year contract with AEW. Now he's talking about retiring. Anyway, before I get out of here, we're gonna talk about AEW's video game real quickly. I have a video coming up about it. It's now up to Tony Khan and Kenny and Aubrey what they're gonna do next. They're saying it's permanently canceled. That's not true. Possibly canceled, but all articles have said it comes down to management on what they feel they're gonna do. I think Kenny Omega's shopping it around. I think we're gonna get a new company behind AEW's game. It's a shame because I personally think the game is not that bad. It just got problems, and they never really addressed those problems. Yeah, I see that. I definitely do dream on that one. So AEW's video game, I've told you guys Warner Brothers games. I've said EA. I've said 2K. I've been on the record saying they need to do something with the game. Originally, it was supposed to be one game, and they were supposed to fill it up with content, and they never did. They never got around to filling it up with content, and they lost a shit ton of money. I don't think there's going to be a cancellation. I think they will work on a second game, but as I said before, and I will keep saying this, and a lot of people I just don't understand it in 2024 and beyond. I just don't understand why everybody's so critical of just everything when it comes to AEW with their first game was a good college try. I'm not going to say the game was trash and put it out to the pasture and shoot it. I've seen worse video games in my life. In all my 33, almost 34 years of living on this earth. I've seen a lot of shit in video games that are bad. And I have seen some shit that's been bad. And I've seen some music that's really bad. And sporting events that have been really bad. Look, it was their first offering. I'm going to give them a pass. If they make a second offering and it's just as bad, then let's have that conversation about AEW not making a video game. First one out, I'll give them credit. At least they tried. Was it all good? No, hell no. Absolutely not. It was a missed opportunity. I honestly think, and in my video, you guys are gonna hear it tomorrow or next day. I said, why don't you go after Mortal Kombat's developer, NetherRealm? But NetherRealm's eating shit right now with the whole woke shit that's going on in their video game with some type of a character. So they're kind of in limbo. So we'll see. 2K would be a good one because 2K knows what they're doing when it comes to sports games and things like that. I know microtransactions and all that. I'll hear that from you guys. EA's another one because of UFC. They can go work with Capcom that does Street Fighter. Kenny's a big Street Fighter player. Why aren't you not fronting up that? Konami, there's another one. Microsoft, there's another one. There's plenty of developers that Kenny Omega can tap into. What I want them to do is get away from the N64 type of character look. They could be like I'm not asking them to be photorealistic like a Madden or a 2K, but just be in the ballpark. Just be in the ballpark. That's all I care about. Just be in the ballpark. And have creative player, have creative belts, arenas, and listen to your community. That's the problem with AEW lately. They're not listening to their community of people that come to love them. They should be. You know, sit down and this is one thing I will say about AEW that they need to do. They need to sit down and take a consensus from everybody at every event. What they should do. Kirby that runs their events, and what they should do is they should have a kiosk where you go and you can fill out a questionnaire about AEW and how you feel and what they could do better. I think that's what they should be doing, especially when it comes to video games. They should be taking in the consensus of how their fans feel in questionnaires. And I don't see wrestling companies doing that. You know, I think questionnaires, I think, you know, little things like that. And, you know, listen to what people have to say. Just don't go off of social media or what, you know, this person or that person is saying, you know, on social media, because, you know, everybody could, you know, everybody's got an asshole and an opinion, but, you know, at the end of the day. But really, to be honest, they should take a consensus. When you're at a concession stand or when you're going in and there's a kiosk, give feedback to AEW on how you feel. Got you. But that's my personal opinion. That's going to be the show for tonight. I got to get to game streaming. I love you guys. I will be back here in about 10 minutes. I'm going to get everything cleared in this room real quick, go to the bathroom, and check what's going on in my house, and then I'll be back sitting here and game streaming for hours. If you have any more wrestling questions or anything like that, stay tuned for my other stream. Have a good sleep, buddy. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for hanging out. Tomorrow, guys, I'm not making any guarantees with NXT. I may be game streaming, so if I'm game streaming, I'll just go and watch it later off to the side, and then in the morning, you guys will get an upload from me. So, like I said, I'm not going to be live all the time doing wrestling reviews, you know. So, just let you guys know. But if I am live and I'm game streaming, feel free to come in and talk wrestling with me or sports. Sports in general. Like, for instance, I can't believe the Oakland Athletics are going to be changing their name to something else. All right. I'll see you guys.